State motor vehicle departments across the United States went down simultaneously on Thursday. Was it a hack or was it something even more nefarious? Remember, voter registration has a tendency to be tied into those records as well. We're going to be talking about that. Store packaging now skimping on weights, so make sure you're measuring your favorite products to make sure you're getting all that you're paying for. More and more emergency tests all across the United States. Question is, what is coming our way? Plus a whole lot more of your reports coming in from all over. Let's jump into it. Welcome to the Poplar Report. I'm Steve Poplar. I'm an accountant by trade. I'm not in Texas, but we stand with Texas. You got that? Right? And before we dive into your reports, we do want to thank our sponsor, Genesis Gold Group. They do a fantastic job helping other people who have retirement accounts that want to get into gold, silver, or platinum. Physical metals in their retirement accounts. If you want to learn more about how to do that, there's a link at the end of the video for you to get some more information. All right, PF says the ruling for Texas to take necessary action due to the border crisis was a temporary victory, as the High Court sent it back to the appeals court to actually hear the evidence in the case. So the Supreme Court kicked it back down. Now, you heard this from other channels and stuff like that, but I'm being reminded that I need to make sure I follow up on reports that I give. So the Supreme Court kicked the Texas law to arrest people who come across the border, and they said, we won't hear that case. It was then frozen yet again by an appeals court down below. So this is a problem. They're still not allowed to arrest anyone, even though that's what the law says. And we'll see what happens for more. But like I said, we stand with Texas. Christina says the NOAA, which is the National Weather Service, right, is off service today. The service is off. The site says that the transmitter is not working. This was on the 22nd of March. No other explanation, but the emergency weather system is supposed to always be working. Like, that's why you always get those weather radios, right, as an emergency kind of thing, because you know that that will be one of the places that they'll broadcast emergency information. So seeing that system down, hopefully they're just updating things, but they didn't seem to know that they were going to be updating things. They just seemed to broke something. If you guys have updates or reports, please do send those in. Just reply to any one of the videos on this channel with a comment, and just make sure you use the word update somewhere in there. That way it gets to the right place. And give us some sort of geographical tag too, like where you are roughly. Paul says, Cincinnati, Ohio. Heard this morning on my local news channel that they were going to be testing our sirens tomorrow at 9:50 a.m. Supposedly this is for tornado awareness, but they always test the sirens in my area every single month on the first Wednesday at noon. So the fact that they're doing a second test this month is a little weird. If they're already testing it once a month, yeah. Either they're updating or they're upgrading, and we just keep hearing about that from you guys all over the place, that you're having a whole bunch of new sirens, different sounding sirens being put in. Why this set? I mean, is this part of the infrastructure bill that we were told about? I mean, we haven't seen the airports upgraded. We haven't seen the roads fixed, but maybe it's just going to update all of everyone's air raid sirens for World War III that the administration wants to start. Gianna says all of the Illinois DMVs were offline yesterday. I had a friend who works for IDOT and couldn't. It's not an Apple product, friends. It's Illinois Department of Transportation, right? IDOT, and I couldn't work from home, and he couldn't work from home yesterday either. It said that nationwide, it was nationwide on the website, but haven't heard anyone talking about it. So it was down for 3 hours, and this was a Verizon private IP network that most of the states actually share. So it wasn't just Illinois, it was states all over the place, and you're going to hear a few more reports here from you guys about that as to where it was impacting. Wyoming gal says, you're probably already aware of this, but we have a Facebook page for our town. The page warned that our DMV was down statewide in Wyoming. So Illinois, Wyoming. I went on YouTube as as I usually do, and saw Marfugal News said that all the DMVs are down across the country. They all use the same third-party system, right? Also, HU says Ohio BMV, which I thought was a spelling error, but actually there it is, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. Just to confuse everybody, right? Had been hacked. But Krista says, I went to renew my driver's license today in Rochester, Minnesota, and the DMV computers and servers were down for the entire day. So to give you an idea there, we got Minnesota, Ohio, Illinois, Wyoming, all confirmed down, and reports seem to be nationwide due to the fact that they're all using the same service to verify driver's licenses. And so basically when they issue you a driver's license, they make sure you don't have like a different one somewhere else. And that system was down. And the question is what was somebody monkeying around with that system for? Like I said, most states have their DMVs tied into their voter registration. As you get your license, you also get registered to vote oftentimes. And so this is a concern there. As we go into November, I think that we're all just very, very sensitive to any time that any of the systems that seem to be related to November are being tinkered with. So all these states seem to have this happen right after the primary gets over, right? The primaries are basically done, and so all that's done, and now we're starting to see these systems tinkered with. And I don't know. I'm seeing the writing on the wall. I strongly recommend getting out there and still doing it, right? But at the same time, is it going to even count? I mean, is mine going to count? Is yours going to count? I don't know. We saw enough absolute insanity last time around, and I hope it's different. I hope that we have an overwhelming majority that makes it so that they can't even tinker with it. But, you know, hope for the best, plan for the worst. All right, folks? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. What was up with that? Was it just somebody fat-fingered it? Or was it something more nefarious? Hot Mess says, was on a call yesterday evening with a local independent insurance representative getting quotes for our auto policies, and their entire system shut down. The call never cut out, but he suddenly disappeared. He called back about 5 minutes later to explain what happened. I'm in Pennsylvania. Isn't it just interesting how many different systems seem to be hacked? How many different systems? Next stop says Scranton, Pennsylvania school district hacked since last Friday. Ransom demanded. Okay, so Scranton, I wonder if Biden's going to go down there because he lived in Scranton, as he likes to tell us. He lived in Scranton, so I'm sure he cares too. Maybe he'll do something about it. But just another computer system hacked, just one after the next after the next. And so a lot of people are pointing back to this SolarWinds hack, that was the camel's nose coming into the tent. They were able to breach the systems and then use that hack to get into lots and lots of other systems. It's not that they're necessarily so much better at hacking today or that they're really trying so much harder. It's just the fact that some of these groups were able to get into all these systems through updates. And so the updates have caused a lot of problems where it's getting people into the BIOS and the operating systems and such, and getting apps onto people's devices and such. So just so many more avenues now for hackers to take control of our lives and to damage our lives, right? Mandy says, Mid-Michigan, I've had several items recently that I don't have as much in them as the package claims. So I've got several items. Mandy's actually checking them and actually weighing them out. Things like cereal and breadcrumbs. So things that are sealed up, they're not coming in as heavy as they're supposed to be. So let me know if you guys are seeing any shortages of product inside your packages, where you're told you're getting 8 ounces, but you're actually getting only 7.5 ounces, that type of thing. Let me know if you're seeing that out there as well. If you do us the favor of getting something out of your cupboard or whatever, and before you cook it up or before you consume it, just measure it, right? And see if that's holding up out there. Particularly, like I said, cereal and breadcrumbs that we're being shorted on. Joy says, South Central Texas. We have been getting the same warning about stocking up for 2 weeks of food for the eclipse. Pet food, gas, water, alternative power sources, medicine, and saying internet and phones could very well be impacted. This is a 15-minute, sun being blocked out by the moon thing. This is absolutely insane that they're telling everyone to get 2 weeks of food. What in the world is supposed to happen during this eclipse? We've had eclipses all the time. I mean, eclipses happen all the time, right? It's not like some weird, strange new event. It's just like a normal event that happens. Several counties have already declared a state of emergency. They're saying it's because of crowds, but I've never seen that situation for crowds before. The other day, they said we could have extended power outages for 15 minutes, right? No sun for a few minutes, and we have solar farms. I find this hard to believe because only about 25% of our electricity is solar. And how much power is everyone going to be using? Everyone's going to be outside looking up at the sky. They're not supposed to do that, or they're going to be looking down at the ground at their little box, Remember, folks, when the eclipse happens, you're not supposed to look directly at it unless you have eclipse glasses, right? A special, not sunglasses, special eclipse glasses, or you can do the whole thing where you poke a hole in the box and you look at the shadow as it goes and such. But hopefully they do the same thing with the solar panels. Don't want them to be damaged. The rest of our power grid is fossil fuel and wind generated. Curious if anyone else in an area with solar or partial solar got that warning. Even after Hurricane Harvey, which made landfall in our state 3 times, very little was impacted except for gas because of pre-storm hoarding. Something sounds off about the 2 weeks scenario. That's right. I mean, when you start comparing this to a hurricane, you're kind of like, okay, the sun's going to be blocked out for a few minutes, and they're making emergency declarations like they do for hurricanes. Like, seriously? Kitten Sugar says, Phoenix Metro update. Groceries are almost unaffordable now, even for those with jobs and income. Less on the shelves, less in the carts. Yeah, that's right. People are putting stuff back on the shelves or just taking less off. They can't afford as much as they used to. Our nearest grocery has only one cashier working afternoons and evenings. Long lines make people give up and go elsewhere, too. That's something I saw overseas in ex-Soviet countries. Just that whole thought process is like, in America, it's like, we're so happy you're here to shop at our store. Thank you for coming. Over in ex-Soviet countries, it's kind of like, fine, I'll help you. They don't say that, but, it's the attitude, right? It's just kind of like, you're annoying me. And this is from, like, the shop owners. This isn't like workers. Well, the workers definitely catch that too. But, like, the shop owners, they can't even be bothered. It's like, unless you're somebody they know, they don't even care. Prospect TV in North Carolina says, I was at my local Walmart last weekend, and there was a big table set up just in front of the entrance with 4 employees helping people fill out job applications. Needless to say, it looked like 90% of the applicants were the others you referred to in your video. Are visitors from out of country. Uninvited visitors. Also, it was apparent to me that some of the employees were using a translator app to help the applicants fill out the paperwork. How are they going to do anything if they don't even speak or understand the language? I have resigned myself to shopping only at local family-owned businesses. Businesses that hire American. That's we We talk about buying American. Now you're going to have to shop American, right? Find the stores that actually are American stores in America. Absolutely insanity what's going on out there. We'll keep our eyes on it. Please keep your updates flowing in. If you want to get some more information about what you can do with your retirement account with physical gold or metals, there's a link right there. If you want to check out another video from the channel, there's one right up there. Thanks so much for watching. Steve Poplar of the Poplar Report, out.